What's going on, everybody? It's Ron Brown, LMT, the People's Fitness Professional. My co-host is not here yet. I think he's gonna come on real soon. Busy man, just like I am. We have the brother Sharif in the building again, once again.
Yes, sir.
And Aban, brother Aban from Peoria,
Peace, peace,
Illinois.
peace, peace, peace and love.
Yes, sir.
Peace and love.
And before we start the show, I
Yeah.
just want to make this known. Sharif Anael-Bey didn't know us from a hole in the wall, and he was all ready to get on the platform. He had no problems. So I'm gonna just put it out there, be transparent. Sharif is my man's in there. Straight up. Like straight up. I'm just putting it out there.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Anyway, we could go, let's go straight into it with the questions. Brother from Peoria, you had some questions. The brother hit me up. I think it was IG or something like that, and he said, he's real sincere about doing the work for the people, and he was real sincere about just Moorish science in general. And we're just gonna let him explain his background real quick.
Beautiful.
Yeah. First and foremost, man, I appreciate the opportunity, man. And brother Sharif, it's great to meet you. So yeah, man. Born and raised in Peoria, which is now known to be one of the worst cities for Moors, or they call us so-called African Americans. It's on that list. So most of my life I've tried to stay away from the streets and do my best to uplift the people that are close to me, and been reaching out. So it's basically been a part of me since the beginning. But a little more background. I'm 29 years old. I'm a Scorpio, and I'm a father. I'm a brother. I'm an uncle. I'm a learner. I'm a teacher, as much as I can. I'm just ready for this movement. I've had a rocky journey so far. It wasn't unexpected, what comes with these movements of liberation.
That's real.
But yeah. Should I go to the first question?
Sure.
Or do you need more?
Before we go to the first question, brother, I want
Yeah.
you to break down your history a little bit of Moorish science.
Oh, got you. Okay, so I first came to the knowledge when I was about 22. I first heard the word Moor on I think I told you before, Hidden Colors. That was introduced.
Okay.
Yeah.
Treating the Sheet stuff. That was a good series.
Yeah. Very, very enlightening.
Yes.
I watched every part, I would say, but yeah, that was the first time I heard it, and I really didn't dive into more science for maybe another year or two. I tried to study a little bit more, and but once I locked in, man, it was, once I found out it was the truth, man, it was a go from there. And here in Peoria, we tried to get some things going. We tried to get a temple going. Most of us were in the right heart and mind. Some of us weren't. And we did things the wrong way, even though we were in the right heart, like as far as incorporation, you know what I mean? And starting it up, and yeah, right. So we kind of, well, not we, but our grand sheet kind of butted heads with other people that we tried to connect with due to that fact. And, they were trying to tell us we were doing it wrong and that we weren't a true temple. And, we finally knew what they were talking about and what they meant.
Gotcha.
So, but that was after the factionalism came and divided everybody in the temple, man. So, yeah, so we had some trouble here. But like I said, we were passionate. That was the one thing that I will say. We were passionate. We were trying to do things the right way.
Yes, sir.
And then like we spoke. I sent brother Ron a video of me speaking a while ago. That was at the protest for George Floyd.
Yep.
And I honestly wasn't supposed to be speaking that day, but events transpired with some of the people that we went with, and they were removed. And I kind of played the peacemaker.
Yes.
And in the crowd, it was kind of hectic, but I played peacemaker, and I talked to them, and I eventually got the okay to speak. So we were in the protest, the Juneteenth celebration. We were in the community, but like I said, we were just moving wrong, I guess. So that's what we started here, and we still got people that are ready for the unity here in Peoria. They're constantly hitting me up. I constantly come across them in the public every day.
Beautiful.
Every day someone stops me, to ask me about my fez or to ask me where I'm from, and
beautiful. That's good.
Yeah, man, I love it. I love it, man. I just know we got something good here in Peoria that's just missing something,
Well,
yeah,
because one of the first
go ahead. My bad.
One of the first things that I'll tell you, brother,
Yeah,
is for me personally. First of all, I appreciate your sincerity. I could feel it. That's a beautiful thing.
Yep.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate it.
Thing, sincerity is more important than anything, at this stage. From sincerity is everything. That being said, bro, if we could do, myself personally, and that includes coming right to your town and helping to organize, no problems. Seriously, we'll do that. Yeah,
okay.
we'll do that.
Okay, that would be love. That would be love.
Absolutely. We'll definitely do that. Now, any questions? Any questions that you had, about anything related to the movement?
Yeah. I got a few. I probably got about 8 or 9. That's okay.
Oh, of course. Let's go.
All right. So the first one was dealing with the incorporation. What is the correct way or how to incorporate or start a and this is for the other viewers that are watching too. What is the correct way to start or incorporate a temple in your community or get a charter, and who do you get it from?
Okay. Now, my response might irritate some people, but that's okay. Right? That's not the primary or initial way to seek assistance from the organization. Okay? The organization isn't a building, as you already know. I'm preaching to the choir. Organization is not a building. The power of the organization is not a charter. This is important. The power of the organization is not a charter. Okay? The power of the charter comes from the issuing authority. Comes from the person you get it from. Get it? Not the charter itself. There are people out there right now that are calling themselves temples that literally, on Adobe Illustrator created charters. We've had temples. Mikey, yes, sir.
Please.
We've had temples. Temple number 11 subordinate temple number 11 in Philadelphia is one. Temple 78 in Baltimore, Maryland is one, where there were people coming to the temple. Follow me. There were people coming to the temple as visitors / wanting to be members, but low key were taking pictures of the charter so that they could duplicate it.
Oh,
You see the point?
Yeah.
The power is not in the piece of paper. So, this is what I would do. This is my advice to you. Don't seek after a charter. This is what you do, bro. Seek after the relationship with the right officials, bro. Let me say that again. Seek after a relationship with the right officials and the right people. That's it. That's the first and most important thing. Okay, it really, really, really is. All right, you know, because at the end of the day, the work is, and this goes back to what you've already experienced with the people in your area. Our forefathers fell 500 plus years ago, not because we lost knowledge of ourselves or because we lost our identity. We fell knowing full well who we were. We fell because we stopped learning how to work with each other. We refused to work with each other. Here we are 500 some odd years later facing the same exact problems. And what's happened, and there's people that can attest to it. Like I said, some of those very same people that said, oh, all I need is a charter. I'm going to have the appearance of authority. Guess what they got? Backbiting and infighting, because the real issue was not addressed. See, we're talking about the great program to uplift fallen humanity.
Right.
And humanity, the lowest of lows is our people. And we fell because we stopped working with each other. We stopped practicing love. And then we forgot how. That's why the Prophet Noble Drew Ali said, learn to love instead of hate. We have to learn that all over again. I have to learn how to work with my brother Aban. That's all work. You've already, as you said, you've already experienced, you know, division and all this other stuff. Why? Because people follow me. I literally had this conversation earlier today. People are following an effect and trying to correct a problem by addressing the effect and not the cause. A charter, a filing, these are all effects. You understand? They're all effects. They're not the real thing. They're a manifest of the real thing. Here's a quick lesson. In the questionnaire, you have a Quran questionnaire, right? Question number 9. What year was the Moorish Science Temple of America founded? The answer is 1913 AD. Question 10, where? Answer, Newark, New Jersey. Well, here's the thing. Listen close. The name Moorish Science Temple of America didn't come into existence until 1928. So how can we say this thing was founded in 1913? Somebody's wrong. Here's the answer. The thought that later became named the Moorish Science Temple of America was founded in 1913. The thoughts of Allah change not. The manifests unfold in the perfection of their kind. That's chapter 11. In other words, here's another quick example, right? The very same thought, listen close, the very same thought that is behind the existence of birds today was behind the presence of dinosaurs millions of years ago. Today's birds are the direct descendants of dinosaurs. The manifests evolve and change and unfold. The thought never does. See my point? So we're looking at the wrong things. We're looking at filings and court proceedings and paperwork and charters instead of how we deal with each other. All that other stuff will work itself out.
Let a shot off, run.
Man.
Hey, those facts.
You see
That's
what I'm saying?
facts. Yeah.
It's how we relate to each other, brother. That's what's important.
Can I intervene?
Please.
For people out there
please,
that's not understanding, Sharif is basically saying water will be water, and no matter what form you put it in, ice, sleet, rain, or snow, it's still water.
Water,
basically.
Listen,
great analogy. Great analogy.
Real quick, brothers. Here's the thing, right?
Yes.
Now, and Ben, the reason why I keep turning your mic off because I'm just hearing the feedback.
Oh, dang.
It's all right. It's all right.
Okay.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
So I just want to say this. The way we think, right? We might think on a we might think a bit more complex, or the way that our brains work, we
Yes.
can catch more complex things, right? So
Yes.
when people are talking, we catch what people are saying, because especially because we have, we have good attention spans as well.
Yeah.
So because we read, and not saying everyone else doesn't, not saying
Right.
that. I'm
Right.
just saying some people have short attention spans, or some people may not be as well read as we are, or some people who just read novels, or you know what I mean, like we read in-depth books and secrets and all this stuff. So I want you brothers to break down what you're saying, like like so simple that a baby can understand it.
Okay. Thank you, bro. I thank you so much. So, just in short, without belaboring the point, an organization, just like a business is not money. Business is relationship. Organization is the same thing. You want to build your organization, of the organization in Peoria, Illinois, you already have literature, and you already have the desire, and you have the intent. Start working and then build relationships with the proper officials, and you get the assistance.
Boom.
Okay. Now,
And we can
question.
help you. We can help you with that easy. But go ahead. Go ahead.
Right. Right. Okay. Now, when you say officials, do you mean like city officials, like say the mayor,
Okay,
or do
that's
you
a great
mean?
question.
Okay.
What I'm talking right now is about is the organization, right? More Science Civil of America, but that of the work of the organization does include, and that's very vital, include interacting with local government. Why? If for no other reason, that's what the Prophet Noble Drew Ali did. You know, Prophet Drew Ali said on a number of occasions, he said, the European is behind me, why not you? It's your problem. And if our work is designed, if the Prophet's work, right, is designed to uplift fallen humanity, remember, rising tide raises all ships. So solving the Negro problem solves America's problem. Get it? We're not a secret organization. See what I'm saying? We're not a secret organization. We're uplifting fallen humanity. And here's the biggest thing. I was talking to the wife about this earlier today. We were talking, and we all know this, the number one domestic social issue in America is the race problem. Number one. It is so much, it's destroying America. We all can see it. The Prophet is the only one with the solution, bro. So either America is going to accept the solution and act accordingly. America's going to change no matter what. It's going to change no matter what. The question is, does America do it nicely, or does America do it being dragged, kicking and screaming? It's going to change either way. You see what I'm saying? We're on the side of it's going to change. We want to be on God's side because it's going to happen. That's the dopest part of one of the dopest things about having a prophet. You already know how it's going to go. So you get on God's side, B. You see what I'm saying? Simple. That means you're already the winner. Now, I want to say this too. See, for you, brother, listen, I'm still there. I've been in the movement for a little while. I'm still wide-eyed and excited about it. I am, and that's dope, and I want you to keep that. But let me say this too. This is a mistake that many of us have. We think that because we see it and we're so amazed that everybody else will too. You know what I'm saying? And we all have people that are 10 times smarter than us. 10 times smarter than us that still have a problem with you saying that people are not this color or this color. You get it? So we understand that this whole color code system thing is so baked into American society that it's really heavy lifting when you tell people things to you that just make perfect sense. It's just, yeah. According to all divine records, true and divine records of the human family, there is no Negro, black, and colored attached to the human race. To you, it's like, yeah. Everybody else is like, huh? You see my point? This is still heavy lifting.
Right.
For
Islam.
the American public. Go ahead.
Islam. I just wanted to stay on the questions.
Yes, sir.
So that he gets it, and then the public really gets it as well.
Yes.
So the first question answered, you said that the question asked was, can you ask that question again, brother?
Yeah, it was how do you what is the correct way to incorporate or start a temple in your community?
Islam.
Or dealing with the charter.
Yeah,
or needing
you're in Peoria. We can get you assistance tonight.
Wow, right.
First of all, we can get you assistance tonight. That's not hard. What I wanted to in my answer, I just wanted to make sure you were properly oriented in the direction. Don't look for paperwork. Don't look for that's easy stuff. You know what I mean? That's the real thing. Let me just be very, very just straightforward. The real thing, man, assemble a team of people with a similar level of sincerity. Look for that, bro. Because these are people, you got to look at it like boot camp. You're on that bus, you get off the bus, and you sit next to people you ain't never seen before in your life. And you're getting yelled at. And going through 6 weeks later, you're inviting them to your wedding. Why? Because y'all went through 6 weeks of hardship together.
Mm-hmm.
You grew a bond. That's what you need. The Prophet Noble Drew Ali said, I need strong men and women. That's not everybody. Who think their condition can be better. That's definitely not everybody. Many of the people around us don't believe their condition can be better, so they're cool with the worst. They're all right with it. You said Peoria is bad. There's a whole bunch of Asiatics, I'm sure, in Peoria that are like, yeah, it just is what it is. I'm good, right? That alone sets you
that's
apart.
true. That's true.
That alone sets you apart. You like, nah, this can be better.
Yeah, Islam. So now I want to go into the so to answer your just to reiterate, to clarify, in order for him, he shouldn't worry about paperwork. He should worry more about building relationships with the right people.
Brother, there's so many hundreds of people. There's so many hundreds of people right now across the country with paperwork and nothing else.
Yeah.
And guess where they are? On social media, trying to convince people that there's something that they're not.
Gotcha. Buy paperwork, the packages, the package sellers.
Get it?
You dirty Moors, as they put it.
But they'll take 50 pictures standing.
Mike is in a Brooklyn mood tonight.
Yes, he is. He is.
You dirty Moors selling packages that don't work.
Right. Or they'll take 11 pictures next to a charter that they created and got it printed at Kinko's. See what I'm saying?
Right.
And they're trying to convince other people that don't know better. Oh, I'm official tissue because I got a charter.
Right.
Nah. You want to know, and this might ruffle some feathers too. You want to know a real Moorish leader or Moorish official? Go to their town and talk to local government officials and see if they know their name.
Wow. Where's the shot? We got
see if they know their name.
Can I say something? The only reason why I say that is, right, there are a lot of brothers that proclaim, nationality and are part of the Moorish movement that are actually doing work in the community, that are uplifting the people, as they say, saving, the salvation of humanity, right?
Yes.
These fools out here, as you said, I laugh at them. You see them on social media, they get pulled over, tell a whole bunch of stories. Next thing you know, they get slammed on their head, their feathers on the floor.
Come on, brother. Come on, brother.
Well, Islam, I want to get to the second question.
Go ahead.
Yeah. All right. Okay, so is it wrong to take measures for our liberation as a whole, as a nation, that wasn't necessarily the Prophet's teachings? Like, for example, so we all know that we are indigenous people. Like, would that be wrong to teach people of their indigenous rights?
Now, what do you mean by indigenous rights? Tell me.
So back in 2007, when see, and this is another question that could kind of coexist with this one.
Yes.
Back in 2007, Barack Obama signed a bill to enforce it was the United Nations Declaration of the Rights of Indigenous People. And there's also an American one. So would it be wrong to teach those rights to our people in this movement? Or would it be okay?
Let's Declaration of Rights of Indigenous People, right? Now in 2007, let's be I just want to be very, very clear, right? Obama signed off on it as represented as an approval of it. It's not law. It's not law. A declaration is just a declaration. And remember, the United Nations cannot exert sovereignty over any member nation. So it's not a lawmaking body for independent nations in that respect. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, the declaration was adopted by the United Nations, their General Assembly in 2007. This is true. And what it does, it proclaims a body of collective rights and human rights of indigenous peoples and individuals. Basically, what it's saying is that the United Nations recognizes that indigenous people are entitled to X, Y, and Z. That's all. It's not enforceable. You understand? That's the thing. This is important. It's not enforceable. Now, that being said, right? What we have here, let's go back to the indigenous thing. And it's something that Brother Ron Brown Bates said earlier. We're in a thought movement, in a thought organization. Prophet said, I get you to think you could save yourselves. Thinking takes effort like exercise. And a lot of times we're not used to the level of effort. I say that to say this. Are our people of African descent or are they indigenous? The answer is yes. See? The answer is yes to both. A quick historical example, right? In the 14th century, early 14th century, and this is one example. Abu Bakr II of present-day Mali, you already know, 2 expeditions to the Americas, right? Second expedition, over 2,000 ships. All right. 300 years later, Moors from Spain and the Iberian Peninsula are in the Caribbean. When they run into the descendants of the people from, Abu Bakr's expedition, would they call them indigenous American or would they call them African? This thing is much more nuanced. We're so used to thinking like the European, we're thinking either or. That's a problem. You see what I'm saying? Now, I say all that to say this. Sure, indigenous heritage. Sure, African heritage. Both. But we are American citizens. And so that describes a different type of relationship. That describes a different type of identity. There's religious identity. There's cultural or tribal identity. There's national identity. And Prophet Juali said, what is your nationality? That's indicative of national identity. In Italy, you've got Sicilian, you've got Calabrese. Those are tribal or ethnic identities within Italy. But when they leave Italy, they don't really identify by those. They identify by their national identification, which is Italian. We are Americans. We are American citizens by way of Moroccan descent. See? By way of Moroccan descent. Now, when I mentioned Abu Bakr and I mentioned, right, we already know that's West Africa, right? And the time period was the period of the Moroccan Empire. Get it? So that's why we could say this stuff, because the term Moorish American is a very adequate term to include the diasporic nature of African descendants in the West. You could still keep your tribalism. but we could still unify under that. Get it? That's why that's powerful. Now, back to the whole thing about American citizens. Here we go. Let's take our brothers and sisters that are Native American, but they are not American citizens, per se. They're on reservations. They're on reservations, right? Okay. So, because they're on reservations, right? Can they participate in state elections? Can they run for state office? See, Prophet Noble Drew Ali in 1928 had a slate of elected officials from the local level all the way up to Congress, and the Moors voted on all of them. So when we're talking about rights, here's the thing. We don't want, as American citizens, to demand just to say, hey, you know what? By virtue of me being indigenous, I deserve X, Y, and Z. It's not the American way. Get it now? The American way is you G up politically. That's what the prophet did. He said, it's not money or clothes that make a man, it's free national standards and power. And then he gave us an example. 1928, organized over 3,000 on the south side of Chicago. That's how he got big, big, big in the eyes of the people all over the state. The governor invites him to the inauguration ball. He has a police escort there. You see what I'm saying? The president of Mexico invites him. Come on. See? That's how he did it. He organized 3,000 people based on common ancestry, common American experience, you see, and common issues. We all got the same issues. I don't care if we're in Peoria, Illinois, Brooklyn, New York, the Bronx, Syracuse. We're Asiatics in America. We got the same issues. So all we got to do is come up with an agenda that addresses our issues first and foremost. And if our issues get addressed the American way, everybody else's issues get addressed too. Get it? It's win-win. Then you get a significant amount of people behind it politically to vote. That is the American way. And so it wasn't just the prophet taught it, he did it. It's a matter of actual history. The first of our people since Reconstruction elected to Congress happened because of Noble Drew Ali. Islam. And his name was Oscar the Priest.
Islam.
That's peace.
Islam. So I wanted to know, just real quick, brother, did that answer your question?
Yes. Oh yeah. All
right. So, brother, let's move on to the third question.
Okay. So during my time of more studying more science and being in a part of the movement,
yes,
it seems to be a lot of confusion about what the prophet didn't say. Right.
Yes.
So I was wondering, do you know, for me and the people watching, where we can find the things that he truly said and, the things that he didn't say? I guess records or like a book maybe, or sorry.
No, it's a great question, brother. The three most reliable pieces of literature: Divine Constitution and Bylaws, Holy Quran of the Moorish Science Temple of America, Quran Questionnaire. Three most reliable pieces of literature. Now, there are other pieces of literature. There's, the humanity pamphlet. There's Moorish literature pamphlet. There is the oral statements and prophecies of Prophet Noble Drew Ali. Some of those, the oral statements, again, you got, if we're speaking strictly academically, we would consider the oral statements and prophecies secondary or tertiary. Why? Because they're things that were reported that the prophet said by someone else. You see? Okay. So we have to take some of those with a grain of salt. Or you have to take them within, you have to compare them to the overall context of what we know to be factual, and that's those three pieces of literature. See that? Okay.
Yep.
Very important. So that's it. You know, those three pieces. But here's the thing: those three pieces are enough. They're enough. And hold on, Moorish Guide newspapers in 1928, 1929. Moorish Guide newspapers. The Moorish Guide newspapers changed my life as a researcher. They really did. I was being taught, you know, or I was listening and researching and whatever to the best of my ability. And I was being taught certain things. When I picked up the newspapers, man, half the people that I was listening to, I wanted to smack fire out of. I was like, wow. Because you got to think about what you're looking at when you're looking at newspapers from 1928, 1929. You're getting a snapshot of what actually took place. The only thing better than minutes of a meeting or something like a newspaper like that, talking about an event, only thing better than that is being there.
Right. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Okay. So let's get to 4.
Yeah. Okay. So I also have a question about its interpretation. For my knowledge. So Act 1. So I myself I know that we don't need to change anything in the movement. We can't. We shouldn't.
Right.
Don't even think about it. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So that's why I need interpretation and help and clarification on Act 1. It says the Grand Sheik and the chairman of the Moorish
America is empowered to make law and enforce laws with the assistance of the Prophet and the Grand Body of the Moorish Science Temple of America. The assistant Grand Sheik is to assist the Grand Sheik in all affairs. He lives according to love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, and it is known before the members of the Moorish Science Temple of America. Yes, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. Yep. Sometimes I can't get out what I'm thinking due to my social anxiety. So I appreciate that.
No worries.
Yes, so my question is, laws for who?
Good question. Let's get to it. And I'm going to be brief, but it's going to be a lot in it. Here we go. The Moorish Science Temple of America has a government. Uh-oh.
Oh, man.
But guess what? Yeah. Mike is definitely on his Brooklyn tonight, right? So, but guess what? Toys R Us has a government too.
Mm-hmm.
Moorish Science Temple of America is a corporate body in politics. So is Toys R Us. You understand? So is Toys R Us. So here's the question. The laws governing the operation of Toys R Us apply to who?
People in Toys R Us. The employees.
Okay. You heard what Brother Ron just said? The employees. You see? They applied it. In other words, here we go. Toys R Us has a parking lot. What if Toys R Us had Toys R Us police?
They'll police the people that come into the store. Once you step foot in there, you're under their governance, right?
Yeah.
That's only if that was it. Here we go. What Mikey said is significant, but that's only if. That's only if the organization itself was formed and that is written or baked into the operation of the organization that it can police its own parking lot.
That's pretty intricate.
You understand?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it makes laws. Toys R Us makes laws and enforces laws.
Mm-hmm.
But only laws that are their ability to do so is confined within the operation of the corporation itself. Well, the Moorish Science Temple of America is not a civil authority. Doesn't purport to be a civil, never did purport to be a civil authority.
Oh, I see what you're going. Yeah, so they can't do that. Yeah. In matters of civics, they can't.
Right. It's not a civil authority. We're not running around. We can't run around here and say there's a traffic division. You see?
Oh, why you do that?
You see my point? The prophet worked with civil authority. He said, I'm going to help this government. Not I'm going to compete with it and replace it. See the difference?
Got you.
I'm going to help it. But a big part of help, you're a father, brother. A lot of times the help that you give your children isn't interpreted by help as help by them until they grow apace. Discipline, a lot of times, especially when you impose a discipline, doesn't feel like assistance. So when the prophet says he's calling on all true American citizens who believe in the enforcing of the Constitution to help him in saving his people. But now we're going to give context to that statement, enforce the Constitution. Here we go. He said immediately after that, if Japanese, Irish, Turks, Arabians, Germans are forced to proclaim their free national name and religion, this should be enforced upon all American citizens alike. So the question is, why is it not enforced on the Asiatics of America? He's calling America to task, low-key, by making such a statement. Why is it okay for you to be called Negro, Black, Colored, African-American, blah, 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 but all the other, now I'm talking immigrants, because that time period, you had the great rush of immigrants. Get it? And President Hoover, I believe it was, had said at that time period that the greatest threat to American society was the hyphenated American. Why did he say that? You seen the movie Gangs of New York? Leonardo DiCaprio? What was the beef about? The beef was what they called the natives, which were Europeans who were second generation because their forefathers came during the 1700s.
Yep.
They called themselves natives against the immigrants that were just coming across the boat from Europe. You see? So it was the whole what they call WASP, white Anglo-American, Anglo-Saxon Protestant.
Yep.
Right? They were trying to do away with the idea. I'm talking about the Eurocentric narrative was trying to do away with the idea of all American citizens have two flags, flag of their birth, flag of their ancestry. They were trying to kind of do away with it. Say, no, we're just American. Nah, that goes against core American values. The prophet is forcing America to face real core American values. That's why he said what he said. He said, if you're really about the enforcement of constitutional standard, then you would compel the Asiatics to proclaim nationality too.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't you is the question.
Islam.
Power.
I want to go into, that was beautifully put, clear. As they say in the nation, understand and understood.
Understand is understood.
Now let's go into 5.
Yeah. Okay. So, I guess this question is all opinion, I guess, but
Sure.
well, the answer, I should say. Does it make me unfit for any position in this movement? The fact that I disagree with terms of belief when it comes to the higher power, the creator. As for example, I don't find the accuracy of the word he being applied to the creator. Does that make me unfit?
That's a great question, bro. The answer is no. Think of it like this, Mo. This is an organization dedicated to the great program of uplifting fallen humanity. Who is that? All of us, right? So who comes into the organization clean? Who comes into the organization already upright? None of us. So even when we come in, I come in with my own ideas. And I'm pretty solid on my ideas. Like, I'm like, you know what? I know what I know. Right? I guarantee you, when you come into the organization, the one elder said it to me like this. He said, you come in with a bag on the front of your body and a bag on the back of your body. He said, all the things that you hear that you don't agree with and that or that you don't understand, put them in the bag on your back. He said, well, the first couple of years, you're going to be leaning back like this. But over time, what's going to happen is that things that are in the back bag, you're going to replace and put them in the front bag. And before you know it, you're going to go from this to this. You see what I'm saying? Give it time. And when we mean by give it time, it really means give you time to grow and develop and unfold. Now, follow me. Let's talk about real briefly the whole he, she thing, right? In our carnal thinking, right? He is a man, she is a woman. That's incorrect. See that? That's like saying a plug is a man and a socket is a woman. We are not polarities. Men and women are not polarities. Okay? Men and women are not polarities, and man is not the body or the soul, man's spirit and part of Allah. Right? So how can we ascribe a gender to Allah? We're not subscribing a gender to Allah. We are describing with limited thinking and limited language capability the function of initiator. That is why we say he, because we're describing, but we don't just say he. Follow me. Chapter 1 of the Holy Quran of the Moorish Science of Civil America says, so Allah, the husbandman of everything there is. The word husband, we hear the word husbandman, we're thinking it means male. It doesn't. A husbandman is a gardener. Gardener is a motherly aspect, one who nurtures something into perfection. See? So we're just talking about another aspect of the eternal oneness. Does that make sense?
Bingo. That's deep.
I'm kind of lost on that one because
I'm
I'm
telling you,
lost
Ron,
on that one. Keep it real.
No,
because,
yeah.
Because I don't know the definition. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
You know, I don't. You know, you said husbandman.
Husbandman. One word, right. Husbandman. If you look up the word husbandman, you'll see it means a gardener.
So you're speaking about the attributes, because
Now, yeah, exactly. Now, can a gardener be a man? Sure. Can a gardener be a woman? Yes, but we're talking. Remember, polarities describe function, not identity.
That's confusing for some people.
That's why when you say, right, when we say male, I'm not a male, I'm a man. But why is man considered male? Because the predominant polarity that exists expressed is male. Get it? Yeah. Like you hear people nowadays in the woke community or conscious community talking about, I'm the divine feminine. No, you're not. Why? Because you're a woman? Because you're a woman? No. Oh, man. You express more feminine qualities because you're a woman. Yes, that doesn't make you the divine feminine. Divinity is something that has to be cultivated. You just don't pop out. That's like me saying, man, I popped out of the womb, star basketball player. Yeah, right.
Right. However, okay, so you said divine femininity is one who is cultivated.
It's a quality that has to be cultivated.
It's a quality that has to be cultivated.
Yes.
However, a woman's nature and a man's nature, a woman's nature is feminine.
Predominantly.
Right. A man's nature is masculine.
Predominantly. Because remember, we're talking polarities here.
Yes.
If I was
Right.
all masculine, I wouldn't exist.
Indeed. Now, exactly. Now, my thing is this: when people speak of divine femininity,
Yes.
they're speaking of the woman.
You sure?
When they're speaking divine masculinity, they're speaking of a man.
Now, follow me. This is what I'm saying.
Mhm.
Both are incorrect. I'm not divine masculine just because I have a penis. I know a whole bunch of foul dudes. I know a bunch of foul dudes.
Okay.
You get my point?
Got you. Okay.
I know a bunch of foul dudes.
Mhm.
Okay. Same thing with women.
Mhm.
That's my whole point. My point is these are things that must be cultivated and developed.
Can I add to that?
They're not personalities.
That's what I was going to allude to that, because a lot of people, if you are within the African spiritual practices,
yes,
we could take the attributes of certain energy. Like we know energy comes from one God,
for sure,
right? But the attributes of what it represents would be like, okay, that's deemed as feminine. That could be deemed as masculine.
right.
But what people tend to do where it goes crazy at, as Sharif was saying, they'll take that attribute and say, well, I'm a woman, so therefore I'm a shun. Or I'm a Zulu trader. I'm a Zulu daughter. A guy will be like, I'm Ogu, I'm this and that. Not understand that you don't know what the energy is. It's the attribute, but you taking it, you basically embodying it as, well, it represents me because therefore I'm this person. So that means I am. No, you're crazy. I look at you as crazy because I could put a picture of a Spider-Man up and say, this is the attribute. You'd be like, well, I'm Spider-Man. You understand what I'm saying? Some people, like that whole concept, I get it where people trying to come from with it. They're trying to, attach themselves to something, that's out of this world that represents purity, but they get a misconception of it with the wording.
Right.
With the wording, the other terms came, during that whole woke movement, and they started using that a lot more. But if you ask them to break down the attributes, some people will not know what to do. They'll be like, what? It comes from one source.
Let me add this too, real quick too. First of all, I agree with you, Mike. You're 100%. Let me add this as well. We're fallen humanity, people. We got generations of being at the bottom of the totem pole. We got generations of somebody else controlling our circumstances. So we're desperately, it's built in. Our people are we're hardwired to desperately grab at anything that even gives us the illusion of power. And many times doing so we're looking for a way to do it the easy way without any real effort. So when you hear, like, for instance, come on, I came out of the and I still consider myself of the 5%, right? We heard black man is God. Oh, word? Let's be real. When we first heard that, yeah, it was exciting. Yeah, it was titillating. But then there was a part of us deep down inside that said, oh, word? That's what I am. I ain't got to do nothing.
For me, I'm gonna be honest with you. When I first heard that, I said, damn, so it's all on me? That's how I thought.
That is, and see, but brother, that's the responsible thinking. You see what I'm saying? That's the responsible thinking, right? So like it says, Jesus has the conversation with Lamas in chapter 7. Pray with his faith. Jesus says faith is the surety of the omnipotence of Allah and man. But then he keeps you honest. He said the certainty that man will reach deific life. Yep, keep it honest. It's like, yeah, okay, man and Allah are one, yes, but man tore himself away from Allah and debased himself. How about that? Both conditions exist. You see? And so it keeps us honest. So even the whole thing with Allah, back on the brother's question about Allah, and we are using he, it's because we're talking about the function of the causeless cause. You see what I'm saying? We're talking about a function. That's how we get close to a thing, is we understand its purpose. We understand its function. So Allah is the cause's cause. He's a cause. He's an initiator. He's a plug. Get it?
That's deep.
What is humanity? The socket. We have our being through Allah.
That's beautiful. Basically, for people out there that's listening, to add on to this, if you're finding God, you're finding yourself. I always
period.
When you detach yourself, you're looking for God, you're looking for yourself.
But
And,
see,
you know,
that is one of the Brother Mikey. See, when it comes to the organization, the Moorish Science Temple of America, page 3 of the Holy Quran of the Moorish Science Temple of America, when it talks about, you know, the reason these secret lessons have not been known is because the Muslims of India, Egypt, and Palestine had these secrets and kept them back from the outside world. And when the time was appointed by Allah, He loosened the keys and freed these secrets. And for the first time in ages, have these secrets been delivered into the hands of the Muslims of North America, right? Well, what secret are we talking about? Brother Mikey just said it. Here, there's a couple of them, but here's the main one. Yeah, sure, man on the law one, but here's the other one. Man himself is not the body or the soul. That's a secret, bro. Man himself is not the body. What are the direct implications of that, bro? The direct implications of man not being the body of the soul. That means man is omnipotent. That also means man is omnipresent. That also means man can't die. But guess what else it means in our fallen state? We are so far away from ourselves, we don't know who the hell we are.
Islam. I want to go into question. What is that? 5 or 6? Oh, what
Oh,
was it?
I'll be on 6 now. I think it's 1, 2, 3. Oh no, it's 5. It's 5. It's 5. Yep. Well, one of the questions, you already answered it for me pretty much, back in one of the first questions. But okay, so dealing with the time that's been passed due to the factionalism and the breaking away of the people in the temple that we started. It's maybe been 2 or 3 years. And right around that time that we separated, is the time that I actually got to meet with the last mayor and the now current mayor of Peoria. And the first mayor was on his way out. It was like a month left in his term, and I don't think he was very interested, I guess.
Right.
So the second time I met with Rita Ali, she is the current mayor here in Peoria, Illinois.
Yes.
And like I said, it's been 2 to 3 years. And I'm not sure how to go about regaining the connection with her.
This is how you do it.
So what do you think the next step is?
This is how you do it, bro.
That?
This is how you do it. And first of all, that right there is a really, really great question. That's a good question. Okay. When it comes to elected officials, when we're talking about the American system, the Prophet Noble Drew Ali said, this is a new era of time now, and all men now must proclaim their free national name in order to be recognized by the government in which they live in the nations of the earth. First, recognition is not permission. I just wanted to say that. Secondly, what is the government in which we live? Let's be very clear. See, this is Civics 101. The American system of government is what? For the people, by the people. The people are the government by way of their elected representatives. So I gotta say this. No people are considered by an elected official seriously if they don't participate in putting that elected official in office. Because that's the job of a citizen. See what I'm saying? That's the job. So first and foremost, I'm gonna give it, man. This is for the viewers too. You want some real power? See, that's the other part too, right? We have to make something of ourselves so we have something to contribute to the movement. A lot of people joining the organization are doing it backwards. They're and you know, at the risk of sounding, I don't want to sound condescending to anybody, but they're nobodies joining the organization to try to make themselves a somebody in the organization. That's backwards. See what I'm saying? Make yourself something so you yourself with a contribution. Now I'm gonna give you a way to do it. Real simple. Give me an issue, not necessarily a huge, gigantic issue in Peoria, Illinois, but give me an issue that plagues. Matter of fact, I'll give you an issue that plagues Peoria, Illinois. And I've never been to Peoria, Illinois. Here's an issue that plagues Asiatics, right? Asiatic men, unmarried, with children, child support. Family court.
Speak on it.
Lose your license or can't get your license revoked for arrears. Am I right? Here's another, okay, and issues related to that. You get your bank account garnished or your checks garnished. So now you can't make an honest living. So now you're living on the lam. Now you couch surfing with somebody else because you can't stay with your. We all have the same story. We know the story. Now, what's the population of Peoria, Illinois, generally? Oh, you're muted.
Oh,
go ahead.
And now it's about 120,000.
120,000 people. Okay. What percentage of that would you say are Asiatics?
To my knowledge, it's probably about, I'd say about maybe 40.
Let me tell you. Okay, so listen. Okay, your demographic is very similar to Syracuse, New York. So I can be based on that. I can give you some fairly accurate general numbers. Here we go. And
I could be wrong on that though.
It's okay.
But go ahead.
Just follow the example. Here we go.
Yeah.
Every elected official, local official, every local office, not official, every local office, and you could find these out and be very accurate in a few minutes on your phone. The win-loss margin for every local office, local official, I'm talking about common council, things like that, is probably 150 to 200 votes. Win-loss margin. Follow what I'm about to say, bro. This is good. I'm glad because I'm saying this on the show, and I'm glad that people are going to be listening to this. You want to make yourself powerful? Here we go. Organize. Men or women. Organize the win-loss margin for every elected office, about 150 to 200 people. You got that in your phone. Write down 100 people in your phone that you have enough influence over to say, hey, I want you to vote this way on this issue, and they'll do it just because it's you. Find 4 more people to do the same thing. That's all you need. You understand? 4 more people, and what do you got? You got a vote block of 500 people. That's more than enough to sway an election. And now you organize those 500 people with those 5 block captains. You educate them on an issue that harms the community. That issue I just mentioned harms the community. Why? I'm going to tell you how it harms the community. Harms the community because 80% of a city's money comes from the workforce, the local workforce. So anything that takes money out of the workforce is a harm to the city. That policy with family law takes money out of the city. Understand? So your solution is win-win. Here's the solution. You ready? The solution is you get a law passed. Because you're a citizen. You get a law passed that stops the loss of or the prevention of a driver's license to anyone who has arrears. You stop it. Now because what's the outcome? Immediate. More people in the workforce. Child support gets paid. You see what I'm saying? Brothers like you and me are not oppressed for no reason. See what just happened? But then you have 500 people. Now you by yourself or with those 4 other brothers, you walk into the local Democratic or Republican committee. We don't care either one, whichever one is predominant in your city, meaning we want a deliverable. We want wins. It's issues based, not party based. We don't play that game. So now you say, they say, who are you? Oh, my name is Brother Aban. Well, who are you? Well, I'm just a regular citizen, but I have an issue. Here's my issue. They'd be like, yeah, okay, whatever. You say, okay, that's my issue. But I got a list of 500 people here that have the same issue, that like this solution. Now they're shaking in their boots. Now they're saying, what do we need? What can we do for you? What's your issue again? Now your issue becomes their issue. Why? Because if it doesn't become their issue, how did this one rapper say it? You won't be around next year. What I just described to you was what Prophet Noble Drew Ali did in 1928. You just made yourself a major player in Peoria, Illinois. And what I just described takes 7 days tops to do. You made yourself a major player. Now the local politicians need to know you by first name. Now they're all taking you out to lunch. Now, you understand?
Yeah.
That's what you do.
Islam. I want to go on to the next question. What are we at? 6?
But that would make it my last one due to the other question that I no longer need clarification for.
Oh, there we go.
Yep. And it's really not important, but it is important for the knowledge, right? So through my time being in the Moorish Science Temple, I've heard 2 things when it comes to this question. Okay, so I've gotten that the meaning of the Black Fez is martial arts, knowing martial arts, or the other one I got was knowing all law.
Yeah,
Which one is it?
Let's talk.
Is it both?
The Black Fed.
It's neither. It's neither.
Oh,
now,
okay.
As you already know, there's different groups, you know, and some groups don't believe in don't wear the Black Fez at all. Some do.
Right. That's what. Yeah. Okay. That's yeah.
I belong to the Moorish Science Temple of America Incorporated under the leadership of Brother R. Jones-Bey. That's my leader.
Right.
For us, we have a Mufti Corps. The Muftis wear black fezzes. The Muftis are security for the organization. We serve, bro. We're not tough guys. We don't jump. We serve.
Front line, right?
We're front line. We're there. You go. Somebody needs the temple needs cleaning. We clean it. We do sweeps. You know, check for something that shouldn't be there. We protect the members. We protect the temple property. That's what we do. Now, the temple or the Mufti Corps is an auxiliary. Let me explain that. Like the Sisters Auxiliary, like the Young Moorish National Business League, right? These are all auxiliaries. In the city of Peoria, you have the local government, the Common Council. But who on the Common Council knows about garbage disposal? Who knows about public safety? Who knows about aviation? Who knows about, okay, get it? So you have private organizations that contract with government to provide services for the people on behalf of government. They're called what? Auxiliaries. Department of Public Safety, Department of Public Works. You get it?
Yeah.
And for the record, that was not to put you on the hot seat, brother. That was because I know many other people who wear the black fez. That's all. And I just didn't know for the people who I would ask me. I'm just looking for clarification on getting in the right knowledge.
Now,
I got a question.
Go ahead, brother. Rob.
Yeah. I was about to make a joke, but go ahead.
So now, as far as law goes, you hear people talk about muftis and the law. It's important to know. Yes. It's important to know because, one of the things we say the peace of society depends on justice, right? And so one of the primary duties of the Mufti Corps is to bring about a harmonious condition. See? So
Perfect
you guys,
sense.
yeah.
That makes sense for me. You cleared
You
up
have
for
to
me.
be adequately equipped.
Yeah,
What
yeah,
adequately equipped? You said.
yeah.
I'll leave it
I
at
like
that.
that. Okay.
So I don't know if this. Well, I'm gonna just ask it. So you have to go through the adept chamber to get there to become
with
a
us,
mufti.
with us. All right. So like any real authentic religious body, right, has an outer door and an inner door. And especially a body like ours, which again, we teach the old time religion. So it's the old time narrative. So religious bodies in the old world were for higher education. So there's an outer door, there's an inner door. We have the AC of the MST of A, the Adept Chamber of the Moorish Science Temple of America, Third Heaven. So to be a mufti, yes, you have to be initiated into the AC of the MST of A. To be a mufti. Can you train? Do we have muftis in training that are not sheiks? Yes. This is like anything, bro. You know, like for instance, our brother Ron Brown-Bey, right? One of the duties of the chairman of in our organization is to chair a meeting or moderate a meeting. Brother Ron Brown-Bey don't play no games. We're doing it on time. We're finishing on time. We're gonna get to the questions, and you're gonna. He's chairing. He is a natural chairman. You see what I'm saying?
Like Malcolm at the.
So yeah. So you know, a good leader pays attention to those things. And says, "Oh, I know where to put him." Boom.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? You got the person that shows up to the temple early, and they're like looking. They notice the things that most people don't notice. Right? Oh, that's a mufti. See? That's it. It's just what are we talking about? Just like we're full circle, right back to where we began. How we all work together.
Mm-hmm.
See, that's what it's all about. How we all work together, bro.
I have a question for the muftis, like, cause you know, you guys take like you go through like physical training, like some kind of boot camp, how to defend yourself, because some can't throw jabs correctly, man. I mean, no, man. Like, oh.
like I said, we're adequately, you know, we should be adequately equipped to bring about a harmonious condition.
Is that a jab?
Now I want to know what. Okay, real quick. The brother Aban is 29 years old.
Yes.
Is he still considered a youth?
Bro, that's relative. You already know my age. I got a son Aban's age. When he said it, I said, I'm old. I'm old.
Oh man, I feel old, man. I feel old,
my
man.
My son is 29.
Yeah.
You don't seem like you're a 29-year-old.
Me, I'd be like, yeah, he's youth. You know, and you know, come on, man. I'm 57 years old. I still feel young. You know what I mean?
Right.
People say, oh, he's the elder. I'm like, nah, stop that. Like, I'm not even saying it nicely, like I just took a compliment. I mean, nah, I'm like, nah, money, don't nah.
Yeah. So, brother Aban, I hope you enjoyed this. I hope all of your questions answered. I got some questions for you now.
Of course. I did, and I have enjoyed.
All right. So now check this out. You're out of Peoria. What are you going to do with this information now out in Peoria? Are you going to connect with the local officials in your area? I mean, local officials in Illinois, out of the Moorish movement.
Oh yeah. I plan to. I want to connect with who I need to in order to continue what we started here. Because like I said, we had that passion, man, and we just went wrong with
yo, brother,
how it was going.
Can I jump in real quick? First, again, even what you just said, yo, bro, that's a big thing with me. And brother Mikey knows this, and brother Ron Brown-Bey knows this. You know, that's a big thing with me is sincerity, and you know, the sincerity that compels you to go, you know what, that was the wrong direction I was going. Let me correct myself. And I don't mind telling everybody because I don't want them to go that way either. Your pride ain't in the way. You see what I'm saying? That's a beautiful thing. And I said it before, and I want to re-emphasize it. Bro, you got my assistance. Word is bond. I'm saying that on the show. You got my assistance, bro. For real. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I appreciate that.
Yes, sir.
I appreciate that, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I just want to let the brother Aban know this takes time though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I talked to brother Sharif, and I have some questions about the movement and things like that.
Yeah.
And the answers I get, I'm like, oh wow, okay. So it takes time, brother.
Yeah.
So I would say patience. They say patience is a virtue.
Yep.
So and then you're still like young, man. So
yeah,
you are.
Man,
yeah.
I got one thing. I'll like
Yeah.
for me, I'll hit the streets guerrilla style. Talk to the dudes in the community. Get them
Yes.
around. Because they willing, like they will listen. Because a lot of these dudes in the streets are intelligent. They just in bad circumstances, but they will listen.
Yo, bro, what Mikey just said, let me tell you, nothing when it comes to things like this is successful absent the grassroots.
Yep.
Get the grassroots, bro. Get the grassroots. Remember what I just said about remember what I told you about that little organizing exercise? Mm-hmm. We did it. It's not experimental. The prophet did it, and then we did it. We did exactly what I just told you. Yes, sir. We did exactly what I just told you. Bro, it works. And guess where it worked from? The grassroots.
The grassroots. Right.
It worked for it's like union organizing. This is what a union organizer basically does. We don't have this. They over there got this. This is how we can get that. See?
Right.
Yep.
And like Brother Mikey said, you got a lot of intelligent people in the hood, in the streets. They just don't see a solution.
Right.
All you got to do is show them a viable solution, bro.